So, I left you with a door swinging open in the dark and a look on my husband's face I had never seen before. Let me take you all the way through it. I had followed Daniel to a storage facility on the edge of town. I had watched him carry boxes inside, boxes I didn't recognize, and one duffel bag I absolutely did. My mother's bag. The one with the broken zipper she refused to replace. She said a little tape and some stubbornness fixed most things. She wasn't wrong about that. He swings the unit door up on its track, and the fluorescent light inside flickers on by itself. One of those motion sensors. And I see it. Furniture. My mother's furniture. Her wingback chair with the floral upholstery she bought at an estate sale in 1987. Her writing desk, the one with the brass pulls I used to open and close as a child just to hear the sound. Her bookshelf, still loaded with her books. Her ceramic lamp with the mallard ducks on it that I always thought was hideous and somehow also irreplaceable. None of it was donated. None of it was gone. Daniel spins around, and for a single suspended second, we just stare at each other. His face moves through about 7 different emotions, and I can't name a single one of them. I say, "What is all this?" It isn't even a question the way I say it. It's a verdict looking for a confession. He opens his mouth. He closes it. He sets the box down on the concrete floor very carefully, like he's buying himself 2 more seconds to figure out who he's going to be in this moment. "I couldn't let it go," he says. "I couldn't let you let it go." And then it comes out of him, all of it. When my mother died, I was the one handling the estate. I was the one making the calls, signing the papers, scheduling the donations. I was functioning. I was ruthlessly, clinically functioning, because that is what I do when grief gets too big. I build a wall out of logistics and I hide behind it. Daniel knew this. He watched me do it. He watched me sign away her furniture and her books and her chair with the same expression I used to cancel a dentist appointment. He said, "You didn't cry once, not even when they came to take the chair. You just stood in the doorway with your arms crossed and watched." And I thought, she's going to want that back. Some night, some year from now, she's going to want to sit in her mother's chair, and it's going to be gone. So he called the donation truck driver. He paid the man out of his own pocket. He rented the storage unit. He moved everything in quietly over 2 days with help from his brother, which explained the hotel receipt, by the way. His brother drove up from 3 states away. They stayed 2 nights at a hotel and moved furniture in the dark like a pair of absolute lunatics. He paid cash because he didn't want it showing up in our joint account. He didn't want me to ask questions before he figured out the right moment to tell me. "And when was the right moment?" I ask him. "I was waiting for you to cry," he says. "I figured when you finally cried, that would be the moment. I'd bring you here, show you it was all still safe, and that would be, I don't know, something I could actually do for you." 8 months. He waited 8 months. Here's the part I haven't told you yet. I have not cried. Not once. Not at the funeral. Not when we cleared the house. Not on her birthday. Not at Christmas when I set one less place at the table. I have been an absolute fortress. And I have been so proud of that fortress, the way you're proud of something you've built to hide behind. I walk past him into that storage unit. I run my hand along the writing desk. I pull open one of the drawers with the brass pulls, and it makes exactly the sound I remembered. A soft, wooden shush. A small click at the end. And that is all it takes. That sound breaks me open like I was never sealed at all. I don't even feel it starting. It just arrives. 8 months of arriving all at once. I sink into that hideous, beloved wingback chair with the floral upholstery, and I cry in a way I am not sure I have ever cried in my adult life. Not politely, not composedly. The real kind. The kind that takes your whole body and uses it. Daniel doesn't say anything. He doesn't try to fix it, or narrate it, or make a speech. He just sits down on the floor in front of me, cross-legged on cold concrete, and he puts his hand on my knee. That's all. We stay there for a long time. Eventually, I look up at the mallard duck lamp, and I say, "That lamp is genuinely one of the ugliest things I've ever seen in my life." He says, "She knew that. She kept it anyway because she bought it the day she decided to leave your father. She said it reminded her that she had good taste in decisions even when she had terrible taste in lamps." I didn't know that story. And she had been dead for 8 months. And my husband had held on to a piece of her for me without knowing if I'd ever be ready to receive it. Now I have to tell you the complicated part, because I am not going to stand here and give you a version of this that's all clean edges and redemption. I was angry. I want you to understand that. I was angry that he had made this enormous secret decision without me, that he had decided on my behalf what I would eventually want. I told him that. I told him it felt like he had looked at my grief and concluded he understood it better than I did. He said, "You're right. I overstepped. I thought I was protecting you, and I should have asked." And that's the thing about a real apology. It doesn't argue with your pain. It doesn't come with a but. It just stands there and takes up the space. I thought about how I had followed him across town, convinced I was about to discover the worst thing. I thought about how certain I had been, how I had already, somewhere in the back of my mind, started rehearsing what I would say, who I would call, how I would dismantle the life we built and salt the earth. And instead, I was sitting in my mother's chair. We didn't solve everything that night on a concrete floor. We are not a movie. There were harder conversations after, about trust, about the distance I create when I grieve, about the ways we had both been quietly failing to reach each other. Some of those conversations took weeks. Some are still ongoing. But here is what I know. I know that the duffel bag with the broken zipper is in our spare room now, still unpacked. And I am not ready to open it yet. And that is allowed. I know that the wingback chair is in the corner of our bedroom, and I drink my coffee in it on Sunday mornings. And I know that the receipt, the hotel receipt, 2 nights, paid in cash, the thing that made my hands go cold on a Tuesday and sent me spiraling into surveillance mode like my entire marriage was on fire, it was just 2 men carrying furniture through a parking lot in the dark, trying to take care of someone who hadn't figured out yet how to ask to be taken care of. My mother would have thought that was the funniest thing she had ever heard. And then she would have sat down in her chair and she would have said, "Keep the lamp, sweetheart. Ugly things can still be good." She wasn't wrong about that either.